everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to be talking about the upcoming support card banner that's coming alongside Seeing Sky and whether or not you should pull on it. Now, I've talked about this one in the past for new players being a very good opportunity to pull on to flesh out your SR cards, as it's a double rate up banner with an SSR speed and SSR stamina card, which are the two main stats that you want to have good cards for. And so for that, it is a great opportunity for them. But for everybody else, it's a little bit of a different story. These cards have been out since the launch of the game, and they're definitely not better than Kita-san Black or Super Creek, which hopefully you've pulled on those banners and already kind of established with good SR cards, so you're not really needing to pull for SR cards. But let's go ahead and take a look at both these cards, kind of see the positives and negatives, and kind of give my thoughts at the end on whether or not you should pull on it. So the first one I want to look at is the speed card, which is Silence Suzuka. One of the big things that this card is good for is it is a front runner card. And the other big thing, it is one of the few ways to get left-handed. Like one of the, actually might be the only one currently to get left-handed outside of the Silent Suzuka herself. And so this card, I've got a copy of this one and I've used it a lot, specifically for Taurus Cup and now building for the Cancer Cup, just for left-handed alone. But everything else on this card is great, as well as it's all frontrunner stuff, which includes frontrunner savvy, which you may see people say is not very useful, but one of the big things with a frontrunner that you're going to want to get, which sadly is not on this card, is groundwork. And groundwork needs 3 skills to trigger at the beginning of the race in order to activate. And the easiest way to guarantee that is 3 green skills, because there's no wit checks on those. They all activate immediately as soon as the race starts, which means you can trigger groundwork right as the race starts. And Frontrunner Savvy is always going to be useful for your frontrunners because it always works for them. Well, that counts as 1, and then if it's a left-handed race, that counts as 2. You can get 2 right off the bat just from this card for groundwork. Plus, you have all these other good ones on here for frontrunners as well. But when you look at what she does up here on the unique effects, she does have the ability to make those hints more frequent, which is good because there's a lot of good stuff on here, but there's no levels for those, so they're not going to have those heavy discounts, which means, as you've probably already seen with Gemini Cup, very limited on skill points, so getting levels on those hints is very nice to make it where you can get more skills. But you do have the amplified effect mood on unique as well, 35% French, and this is MLB, of course. At lower level, it's not as good, which we'll take a look here in a second. Special priority 65, mood effect 40, initial friendship 25, race, fan bonus, skill point bonus instead of speed bonus. Very good, because as you can know, skill points are very hard to get. And then initial speed of 30. Now, if you pull on this and you're like only get 1 card, you're kind of looking at, you got your hint, you got the hint still from unique effect, the mood bonus, 25% friendship bonus, special priority 50, mood effect, initial friendship gauge 20, race. So actually not too bad, because the biggest thing you're missing out, which skill points kind of sucks, initial speed, but you can make up from those just by having a higher roll. And then you unlock the skill point bonus with just limit break 1, and then it's just initial speed missing. So you get most of it actually with lower limit breaks. So pretty good overall at a lower limit break. But there's a big negative in the fact that we will have a very good equivalent of this card coming out on half anniversary, and that is going to be this card right here, the Silent Suzuka Stamina card. One negative automatically with these two is you cannot use these two together because it's the same Uma. They're both Silent Suzuka. And so when the half anniversary Stamina Silent Suzuka card comes out, which you will be able to MLB, you will not be able to use this one alongside it. So if you get this one to MLB or anything, and then you get this one, you got to pick or choose which one to use when you're doing a run. And both speed and stamina are important cards. What is the difference between these two? Well, it's basically just up here, because when you look at the skills, it's mostly the same. Frontrunner Savvy, Rosy Outlook, Fast Pace, as you can kind of see all the way down. The biggest thing being the events. This one has Restart, Focus, Unrestrained, and Left-Handed, which Unrestrained is a good gold. But this one actually has Concentration, which is a very good one to make sure you don't have a late start. Still has Left-Handed, has Hydrate and Soft Step. I would say these aren't as useful there, but has those. But all the other skills are pretty much the same. And then when it comes up here to the top, This one, when you look at it, unique effect increases effectiveness of training together, and then you have increases initial stamina when beginning a career playthrough by 20, and then initial stamina 35. So you're starting with 55 stamina from this card. Friendship bonus, not as good unless you kind of take a look at it. Maybe if you only had one copy of it, it's the same. Then you have mood effect 30. You have mood effect 30, initial friendship gauge 30, and then you have 20 here. And then you got stamina bonus instead of skill point bonus, special priority 35. Well, this one's 50. I mean, it's a lot higher if you have it max limit break, but don't expect to have that from just doing 200 pulls on this one. And so not that much worse in terms of what you get out of here. And it actually has increased effectiveness training. The biggest thing you're missing on the stamina one is the increased hints. So while this has a bunch of frontrunner stuff, you're less likely to get the hints for them versus the speed card. But this covers pretty much everything, and you're basically, when you're taking this card, you're looking for that high roll. And the biggest thing I like it for is left-handed, and then just randomly getting some of these. Hopefully I get some of these also from inspirations and all that as well. So this card pretty much covers everything you need. Now, it's a stamina card instead of a speed card, but stamina and speed are both important. They're like the only time you're really not going to probably need stamina cards are sprint and mile races. Potentially, you even still want to use a stamina card on a mile race, especially like something like this one, just for the frontrunner stuff. So that kind of downgrades the value of this one just because you cannot use these two together. So that's that card. I would still say the speed one's better than the stamina one, but it's at max limit break, which you're almost certainly not getting if you pull on this banner. Now, the other card, the stamina card, Tamamo Cross. This one I actually have MLB on my account because for some reason I got more of this card on the Super Creek banner than I got Super Creek. And so I actually have her MLB now, and you're going to probably hear a lot of negative talk on this one, which it's warranted for it, is it doesn't have special priority. And when you're using a stamina card, the main reason you use a stamina card is because you need stamina. Especially like the Gemini Cup, Taurus Cup. Stamina thresholds, if you didn't have that threshold in the recovery skills, you lose the race because you die, and you're not going to win when you run out of stamina. And so when it doesn't have special priority, it makes it much harder to hit those because it's not going to land on stamina as much. It's going to float around. Speed, wisdom, guts, power. But that's actually somewhat of a positive on this one too, is it has training effectiveness 10% and 5%. If you only get one copy of it, it's a 10% training effectiveness. But overall, it has that friendship bonus, initial friendship gauge 25, hint levels level 2, which this one's mostly, I believe, late surge or stuff. It's got medium corners. It's got some debuffs on it, but nothing too crazy. And I think tail held high is probably the best thing on it. And then fast and furious for your late surgers. But overall, nothing too crazy on this. It's a floating stamina card, but an MLB, which you're not, if you only have 200 pulls, you're almost certainly not getting this too. But it feels very good. I've used it plenty of times, especially even on my Gemini Cup runs. And while when you're doing a heavier stamina need or run, you are going to use more stamina cards. But having one of them that floats around like this, I have found when you're trying to do a high roll, which means you're having to get higher RNG, a card that like this one is better than one like the McQueen card, just because it's able to give more stats, even though you have to get a little bit more lucky with it. And that's just how you're going to get the best Uma in the game. Now, this is at MLB though, and so I feel like the card really sucks at lower limit breaks. And so this is not going to be a determining factor to pull on this banner. And so overall, solid card at MLB, but not worth it on the pulls. And like I said, this is for new players. This is your best opportunity. They're both good cards. They're just not going to be better than other options. Super Creek or Key to Sun Black for people that have been playing a while. And so that's kind of my thoughts on this one. I think this is going to be an easy skip for most players. The next big support card banner that you're going to hear people talking about is actually quite a decent ways away, which is the Nice Nature one. This one will have value down the line, not immediately, but its biggest thing is its race bonus of 15% on this one. which is why people want to pull on this one. You have to get MLB for that. But the third scenario, you get a lot of stats from races, which is why you want to get that card. Everything else in between is skippable cards, which includes this one. And veteran players, if you got your SR cards, now's the time to be saving up for not only future good support cards like that Nice Nature, but other future good Umas. You're better off pulling right now on Seiyun Sky for your frontrunner meta, so that you can get her alt inherits. Sumaru Zensky, who'll be come up in the summer, or whoever is your favorite may be in that area. And so that is why I think you should skip this banner, even though I find the cards to be pretty good. They're not going to beat anything that you've already should have pulled on if you've been playing since the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.